Hey everyone, this is Ultra Runner. Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to take a look at my Transformers collection. This is going to be my 2026 Transformers collection. I have not done um, this in a while. The last one I did was the ranking all the Studio Series 86 figures. But I did not show the rest of the Transformers collection just because, of course, it was just about Studio Series 86. And as I've stated kind of many times on the channel, I am a completionist for Studio Series 86. So I will pick up every single release they do, as long as it's not like a true repack. So I'll give you an example. They just re-released Scourge, but he's completely the same Scourge he was before. So I'm not picking him up because I already have Scourge. So, and I paid way more than they're going to be selling him for now. But yeah, so outside of a true repack, even if it's like I got the battle damage, I even got some new core class ones that I said I wasn't going to get before, but some one of the people commented and said on my videos is like, hey, you can't be a completionist if you don't pick those two up. So, and I'll show those later, but I did pick up everything. So everything so far that is out, I have. And then everything that is on order, that's coming in, I'll be picking up, the battle damage. The one shall stand, one shall fall, Optimus, and Megatron, and whoever else comes out, I'll be picking those guys all up. But I'll just start over here. I just want to pan and show you guys everything. So this collection area also has some of my Legos in there and some of my Boba Fett stuff. As you guys already know, I'm a Boba Fett nut, so I've got a lot of the stuff here. That's the actual battle, the Lego. I guess technically Slave One, but they call it Boba Fett Starship. That's from the Mandalorian, but he's Slave One all day. I'm not really too concerned with that. That is a real quick. That's just a what is that? Bandai model kit Boba Fett, Lego, and the suit. This is actually like a kid Boba Fett from it was a piece from a game that I got just to have some kid Boba Fett representation since we don't have any. And a few there, I got this is one of the original Gundams. This is die cast. Oh, nah, such a cool piece. But, to no delay, let me go and jump into the, focus here, Transformers. So, as you guys know, I said I'm only Studio Series 86, completionist, but I do have some figures that I do love from other medias that I really like. So, I'll give an example. The For Cybertron series, I really like that trilogy, and I do like how the take on some of these. So, here I've got Jetfire and his Decepticon layout. I wanted to pick up the new one, but I think they're probably going to do like a G1 re-release of him, probably like a different paint or whatever. And if so, I'll get him then. But because I do like Jetfire, he's always one of my favorite. And then I have the Tetrajets, which I had Starscream and Thundercracker for a while, but I really came close on the aftermarket to buying the to buy Skywarp, because he was just like so crazy. I of course, he came out when I wasn't collecting those, and I'm glad I didn't, because now that I know that they're going to really re-release everything, and they're also going to release stuff that's in packs into individual releases, I'm just going to wait. There's no point in getting it right then. I learned that with the Hound 5-pack, and I'm super glad I decided to wait on this piece here. But really like those, so they're probably a few of the For Cybertron pieces. I think that's probably all I'm going to pick up. Just like I say, Jetfire leading the team. This space here is for Nemesis. I do have him on pre-order with Big Bad Toy Store. And I just got like it's like a 35th anniversary, some pins, Hot Rod, and Ultra Magnus, of course. Then as we move into the SS86, so the way I'm going to have this set up is we're going to have this side of the Unicron is all Decepticons, and then this side is all Autobots. And the way I'm doing this, I'm sort of kind of like, not really G1, but I guess origin story would be this way here. So I'll have Warp Cybertron here, and then as I move into the regular Decepticons, you know, which was part of the original part of the movie, into the newer Decepticons. So, but yeah, so I've got, this is a regular Megatron here, the original release. Like I say, I know the battle damaged out, and if his legs are gray, like they seem to be in the picture, I will swap them out because it is just a mushroom peg there. So I will swap them out and just put those on the battle damage, because who cares if you're battle damage, you're discolored anyway. So SS86 Devastator, he's been Devastator since I got him. I have not, if you saw the video, I waited till I got all of them before I opened the boxes, put them together, and he's been Devastator ever since. This is the most recent edition. This is SS86 Soundwave. I do have him with Buzzsaw because I never owned a Buzzsaw, and almost bought the bridge pack just so I can have a Buzzsaw. But I'm pretty happy with this one here. And down here, you've got Ratbat and a Laserbeak, Frenzy, Rumble and Frenzy, Rumble Blue, Frenzy Red. The sucky thing about this Soundwave, really only thing, besides the tapes look kind of weird, I got Ravage in his chest because Ravage is hideous. But I don't like the fact that you can't mount them on there. So if you notice, I got two little rubber bands holding Buzzsaw in place so he can actually be mounted on his arm. You know, so I think that's an oversight they should have done, but we're probably going to get a new release of that with some adaptation or something. Coordination Starscream, can't wait to get the new versions of Seekers in. I do have Thundercrack on order with Retro Robo toys. Actually, you know what? No, he should be on the way. Him and Windcharger should be on the way. I think I had my cargo shipped last week. So Charticons, can never have too many of those. So I've got 4 for right now. If I find some more in the wild, I'll pick them up. But I don't order those. If I find them in the wild, I found most of these at Target, super cheap. There is Scourge. Again, I won't be picking him up again since the Mortal BCI is just literally just a repack of him. I do have 3 of the sweeps, and those are actual sweeps, or not like Scourges or whatever. I got 3 because, you know, whenever Unicron first creates those guys, when they fly into the ship before Galvatron takes off, it's only 3 sweeps, so that's why I have 3. And I do have them on flight stands. I'll probably end up modifying this later once I get everybody in here, but that's kind of have them for right now. Just kind of have them flying around so they're not just sitting there. Got 86 Galvatron. Love this guy. Huge Galvatron fan. I am going to pick up the X-Transbot, so I'll have this one in gun mode, and I'll have SS86 in gun mode, and I'll have the X-Transbot in robot mode. So got Hot Rod. I will be getting a Hot Rod from Target, and I'll probably just have keep him here because I actually like this colorway. The pink doesn't really bother me at all, but since I got to pick them all up, I'll probably have him in car mode further down. I'll show you guys where he's going to be. This is Cell Studio Unicron. Easily the best looking Unicron out there. There is not a single Unicron that looks better by anybody. Haslab looks horrible in comparison. It is not nearly as big, but at the end of the day, scale is not necessarily everything, and I'd rather something relatively large with a great aesthetic. Now, hopefully they will repurpose or retool Haslab Unicron into a true SS86 version, because we do know, based on what they've done with the his tank, you know, original was black with lights and sounds, and then they made them white with none of that they will repurpose Haslabs so they can sell them straight up. So hopefully we will get, and if it's the same price, I'm perfectly fine with that. And I'd love to get one, but from an aesthetic standpoint, if I had to buy them side by side, even with the size of the other Unicron, this is just a better looking one. And I almost bought a second one, but I think I'm going to hold out and give it another year and see if Hasbro does do something with the Haslab Unicron. If they do, then I'll go that route. This is SS86 Ultra Magnus. Of course, I have like 3 Ultra Magnus, and then technically I have 4 because I have 1 being customized by Light Customs with cell shading. So, but I got it here. This is such a great piece. He is really a mini masterpiece, and for someone who owns that mold twice over with Delta Magnus and MP31 and MP22 Ultra Magnus, this is such a faithful recreation of him, and I think that's a great job they did for just like $90. Over to my favorite team. This is the Dinobots. I have all 5 of those guys there. I've got Swoop here on a flight stand just so he is up above, just like he was flying in the movie. That's actually like that's a Player's Sky stand, which is why it's so tall. But yeah, such a great set. I really like those guys. I am gonna pick up if they. I don't think they're gonna re-release these in SS86 and with the chrome on them. I'm hoping they redo Snarl because they do redo Snarl. I will pick him up so he has the gold and matches better. But it looks like they're not. It looks like they're just going to re-release him in general. But I will pick up the Missing Link version of those guys. I guess I'll talk about that later. But I will pick up the Missing Link Dinobots. I'm going to have 2 of those. I'm going to have one in Dino mode and then one in Robot mode because I don't have any Dinobots in Robot mode. But to me, Dinobots deserve to only be in Robot mode. I mean Dino mode. So I've got the Junkions back there. The 3 that have been released so far. His Bird Fortune to Cup, the Buzzworthy, and the original version. Like I say, if I have duplicates, I just put one in alt mode. We've got RC here with Willie, Springer, Blur. Then we've got Jazz. Jazz is Jazz. Blaster. Blaster has been since I got him in this boombox mode, just because I love the way this looks. I might get a second one so I can have him in robot mode, but I just really like the alt mode. So, and I got him in his tapes here. This is both releases for Perceptor. You know, like I said, if I have duplicates, I typically do it that way. I'll start in the back here. I picked up the Core Class Ironhide and Core Class Ratchet. So I now have everything that's technically been released. So shout out to the subscriber that called me out on this saying I wasn't a completionist without those. I found them on eBay for like $10 shipped. So I was like, I'll go ahead and do that, because I don't want to be saying something that's not true. And of course, to go with the other 2 Ratchets and 2 Ironhides, I do have them in robot mode just because for the battle damage. So that's the only reason they're not in alt mode. So I wanted a clean one and a non-battle damage, both in robot mode. So then back over to Optimus, SS86. Like I said, I will be getting the 1 shell stand versions. And I'll probably put this one in vehicle mode and have the battle damage out. Because like I said, I have the trailer just kind of buried because I really know what to do with it. But I think now that they have that second one, I will have them with the blast effects doing the jump. You got the touch, of course. And I'll have the battle damage stand up here, looking like he got owned. We got Bumblebee, we got Spike. This is original SS86 Jazz, and then this is the Jazz from the 5-pack. He's the only thing I kept from the 5-pack. I actually sold everything else off individually because I didn't really want them. I'm probably one of the few weirdos. I really wanted Jazz. I didn't care about Hound, so I sold them all off and got Jazz. And I'm sure I think they re-released him in this colorway already, and maybe they're getting ready to do it, but I was fine with it like that way. So, and I actually made my money back when I sold it immediately after I got it. I mean, I sold each of those figures for like $90 to $100 each. So, now of course, you would never pay that much for them since they're all being released individually. So, but I do have Hound coming, so not a big deal. Got Cliff Jumper, got Bird versions of Brawn. Again, like I said, the damage versions. I do have those both in robot mode, so I can have them out. I really do like this Brawn battle damage. I think they did a great job with Brawn in general, but I do like the colors a little bit better. They're a little bit more muted on him. That is the Prowl that we're still waiting on after all this time. A freaking clean version of him. It's like, bro, what is Hasbro's problem? This is my Marvel UK. This is from, I think, 88. June of 88. Original UK comic. Transformers got Ultra Magnus on the cover, which is why I got that one. Got it framed. I had it downstairs in the other area, but I decided to move it up here because I think I'm going to put art on the wall so I can get it up there. Even though this is my closet, I am going to have it decorated so it does look more like a display area. So when I do reveals and things like that, it'll look a little bit more presentable. This is the Ark. And so, like I said, I have the Nemesis coming, and I wanted the Ark here to have it just because those are just classics. This guy has been in robot mode once just so I can see what it looked like. And no, did I transform him? Yes, once. Just so I can see how big he was. And then I immediately transformed him back to Ark, and he will always be the Ark and nothing else for me. And then when it comes over here, this is some of the Legacy and Generations figures. I only picked up really what I like, and it's same like I did with the War for Cybertron set. Um, I'll just start right here. So, Love Smokescreen. He is my favorite of the Dotson Bros, which I call the a lot of people call him the Autobot version of the Seekers. And of course, him with DEFCON from that episode, The Gambler. So, such a great pairing of those two. And I have the rest of the Seekers here. So, we got Silver Streak, who's blue, Blue Streak, who's silver. Then we've got is that the War for Cybertron? No, I think that's like a Generations, or why am I having a brain for it? Sunstreaker, not Sunstreaker, his brother, whatever his brother's name, I can't remember. And then you've got Red Alert there, Inferno, just because I liked Red Alert, so I wanted him to have his pairing buddy, so I've got him with Inferno. Then I picked up some of the mini cons. I wasn't going to pick those guys up, but I was like, I decided to go and get Huffer, so I got Huffer. Then I picked up Gears, and then Beachcomber, and Cosmo. So I do have, like I said, Wind Chargers on the way, and I have, is that it? I think that's really it for those guys. And I did pre-order Power Glide. So don't think I'm really missing is Sea Spray. And if they drop a Sea Spray, I'll go and get him just so I can finish those out. Like I said, I don't really care about collecting all the G1 stuff. I really mainly want to get the all the SS86. And since there's some overlap with those, I'll do that. And for the ones that aren't overlapped, then I'll just kind of get the ones I really are passionate about. And then for Age of the Primes, I am picking up 0 of Age of the Prime besides Superion, just because I really wanted Superion for no reason, literally to finish out my War Dawn set. So I've got the War Dawn pack here with Orion, and Ariel, and the crew. So I wanted to finish that out, and you kind of have to have Superion for that, or the Ariel bots for that. So, and I will probably end up picking up one of the Guardians or Omega Supreme. I'm really waiting for the DX9 or for DX9's Gabriel to be re-released because I just wanted something in a Masterpiece scale that's much better looking. But it just depends because I know they re-released Omega Supreme, but I really didn't want the Hasbro version. I don't like all the detail and stuff like that in it because he wasn't like that in the cartoon. And not that I'm such a big I've got to have it where it's just like it was on the show. But I do like the aesthetic of the lack of detail on the DX9 versus on the War for Cybertron stuff, which is what I do like about the War for Cybertron Tetra Jets, because I do like all the detail in those compared to the third-party version of those that have been released before. So, and you got Dion there. And then Vector Sigma with the key to Vector Sigma there. And then lastly, I got over here for upstairs, I've got just from the original episode, with Cybertron, Wheeljack, Jazz, and Bumblebee. So really like those guys. And so I had to pick those up. Almost decided to I might even go back and pick up the Takara repaints of those because I do like the way that looks. But these are not super important where I have to have the best versions of them. Jazz, I think I've said before, Jazz is the first Transformer I ever got, so he kind of has a special place in my heart. So I do typically go a little hard on Jazz, but not like I do for Ultra Magnus, who is my favorite Transformer of all because he was the commander I got. So when I finally got into Transformers, I was 12 when the 86 movie came out, and that was the first time I was really into toys. I wasn't a big toy person before. And my uncle bought me Ultra Magnus, and I didn't even know there was Optimus Prime, and then he was on the poster, and I was like, oh, I was in love, and that's been my guy ever since. So Optimus is cool, but I literally don't do Optimus at all. I'm an Ultra Magnus guy. So, and then lastly, we got the Blockies Ultra Magnus, and we have the Shattered Glass Ultra Magnus 2, and this one actually has the light up feature in it, which is kind of cool. But I just kind of have them sitting here. I have one downstairs. I'm going to walk you guys down there and show you that. Because I have a couple more Transformers downstairs. But I just want to walk you through. Let me back up a little bit. Just kind of pan through. show you these guys here. All right. Like I saying, all this space here is for the rest of SS86, and however that's going to get figured out. I didn't say that before, but I don't know what all they're going to drop. But since they're doing a bunch of duplicates right now, I'm assuming I'm going to need space for Optimus' trailer, which will probably go in this area here. I'll just probably move everybody down, but I will probably transform him once I get the battle damage version and put him in that spot. So, all right, and that's everybody. I just got to turn his eyes off because I do leave the batteries in there, and they actually last a pretty long time because I collect Hot Toys too, and Hot Toys, when you put button cell batteries in any of their figures, they just die like within seconds. It's so crazy. And I've had the set of batteries in him since I've got him, and that's been like 2 years now. Yeah, like 2 years. So, all right, now we're gonna run downstairs and show you the last couple of figures in the office, and we'll wrap up. Oh, and last but not least, this is the office area where I do have a few more Transformers on display, and I just did a video on this a couple days ago, but I will just kind of pan around, show you guys this area here. There's another video already loaded, so if you want to check that out and see what this room here is about and kind of go into detail on it. Like I said, it's got my Hot Toys collection and my comic book collection, but when it comes to Transformers, I'll start over here. So right above my desk, I've got my desk split between, or my office is split. Left side is Boba Fett, right side is Ultra Magnus. So for Transformers, I've got the Funko Ultra Magnus. This is the Magic Square Ultra Magnus, which just came out. I just got that like last week. Well, it's been out for a while, but I just got mine last week. Super 7 Ultra Magnus. This is like Action Heroes by Hasbro Ultra Magnus, and then this is the Dr. Wu Micro Transformer. So such a cool little figure, and he does transform into an actual real Ultra Magnus. On my desk, there's 2 more figures. So there's another Blockies Ultra Magnus. This is my fiddle toy. So he's usually on my desk right now. I got him posed in the poster position. So if you remember the poster here, I guess it probably would have been easier if I had just picked him up. So I've got him in that pose there, just like on the poster. So kind of cool, like I said, just fiddling around with him, like I say, when I'm in meetings and I'm sitting there bored out of my mind. And then last but not least is, this is the 6-shot that came with the 2-pack. It was a 2-pack with Ultra Magnus and 6-shot. And if, of course, you know the lore of 6-shot, you know why that's kind of a prominent thing to have him there. And then I've got my, like the artwork up here, Ultra Magnus comic books. Like I said, I went into those in detail in another video, so please check that out. And if you kind of have any questions or want to know what's going on with those. And then I have the official Takara MP22 Ultra Magnus. I've got him here. And then on this side, I've got the MP31 Delta Magnus, which of course also doubles as the Shattered Glass, since it's essentially the same idea, except it just has the logos are purple versus being red. Because of course, you know, the story of Delta Magnus and that repaint color is, there's a couple different ones, because Masterpiece has their own version of it, and then IDW has their own. So it's kind of cool to know that there's just so much variation in that. Now, I do have 2 copies of Mr. Link Ultra Magnus on order, and 2 copies of Mr. Link Delta Magnus on order. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the acrylic shell, because I do like the acrylic shells versus dark shells, because it allows the light to continue to transfer in the room. There's no solidness. So even though they look like they're floating, but from a distance, but for the most part, the light goes through and it shines up as opposed to being blocked with heavy shells. And I don't like the heaviness, especially since I have black frames for all my comics. I wanted something that was a little bit more light. So I do like this, even like here with these shelves there, being an acrylic shelf, it actually, the light shines up from below. So these get illuminated without me having to add additional lighting for it. Same thing for here, like for my Gashaman character. So, but yeah, so I think what I'm gonna probably do is put in box right underneath here. Okay, can't see my hands. Right underneath here, I'm going to put another acrylic shelf and an inbox missing link Ultra Magnus, and then over here, inbox missing link Delta Magnus. And then what I'm going to do is in the middle have a Transform Ultra Magnus and a Transform Delta Magnus. So I think that's what I'm going to end up doing with those, because I do want to have some out of box. Because let's say Ultra Magnus was my wasn't my first toy. He was my first big commander, because my first toy was Jazz. I think my second toy was Springer. So yeah, it was Springer. It was Jazz and then Springer. Then I got Ultramax, I think, for my birthday, because my birthday is right around Christmas. So so yeah, actually it's Christmas season. It's actually around Thanksgiving. So, but yeah, this is look at the Transformer collection there. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think. Any suggestions or questions you have, post in the comments below. Appreciate it. Thanks a lot. Peace.